We're starting Chapter 9. In this chapter, we're going to be starting to talk about statistics. Statistics are numbers that describe data. In this first example, we have a random sample of 30 business executives and their recommendation for how many college credits a business major should have. We want to group this data in intervals and find the frequency of each interval. So you can see we have various numbers of recommended college credits, and we have various intervals here. So my first step would be to go through and look at all the data, and for example, this person recommends there's three college credits. That's between 0 and 4, so I'm going to put a hash mark in this first column. This next one says they recommend 25 college credits, and that's down here. I'm just going to go through and put in hash marks for each of these. Once I end up getting up to the fourth hash mark, or actually the fifth hash mark, we actually tend to do a crosshash. I'll show you when I get there, though. Alright, I'm wanting to put a 17 in here, so I'm going to do a crosshash to indicate that there are 5 here. It's just a common thing that's done. And so when you start the sixth one, you can see I put it off to the right. So there's 5 plus 1. There's a total of 6 hashes there, or 6 marks there total so far. I'm just going to finish this up, though. Alright, so there I have my my hash marks. I should probably actually take a moment and count up how many there are in each of these. So 3, 4, 6, 8, 5, 3, and 1. Alright, so this would be what we'd call a frequency distribution. Specifically, this is a grouped distribution. We're saying that the number of people, it's a lot of information to talk about all of them individually, but they're all the individual recommendations individually. But when you group them together like this, you can see there's 8 different people that recommend that the number of college credits should be between 15 and 19. And it's kind of balanced around there. If you extend it out between 10 and 24, you can see that includes the vast majority of recommendations. So that's the whole point of doing a grouped distribution like this. It's to take the data and make it a little bit more easily to consume. Another way that we can view this data is by looking at it as a histogram. A histogram, this is very similar to the histogram when we're talking about probability distributions, but in this case we have a frequency distribution. It's the same sort of idea, though. We would still say 0 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 to 14, 15 to 19, 20 to 24, 25 to 29, and 30 to 34. I'm getting a little off my page here. Oops. Actually, let me erase those, because usually when we're talking about these histograms, we like to have the bar centered over our label. Alright, so the highest point here is 8, so let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and draw in my histogram. There's 3, there's 4 in this range, there's 8 here. No, there's not 8 there, there's 6 there. There's 8 there. There are 5 here. 3 and 1. And, well, it's not the best drawing, but you get the idea. Again, the point of a histogram is to get a a quick look at the data to kind of get a good feel. And you can see, again, you can see just by looking at this, you can get a really quick sense that the 15 to 19 range is where the peak is, and it's kind of balanced outside of that. So that's what we'd call a histogram. Now, a frequency polygon is what we do is if we took the center, the midpoints of each of these, and you can't really see it. I'm going to scoot this over just a little further. You pretend there are zeros just to the left and just to the right, and I'm going to take and connect all these midpoints. This creates a polygon, meaning many sides. And again, this frequency polygon represents the exact same as the histogram. But especially as we start talking about smoothing these out, these polygons are actually kind of how we end up looking at a lot of this. So here we have 3 different ways that we can represent this data that we saw up above, just to make it a bit more, I don't know, digestible, a bit easier to kind of see what's going on at a glance.